Hello, everyone. Welcome to Bayern Now, the ultimate Bayern Munich fan channel. Yeah, this sport is not for the weak. I'll tell you that much. So, I want to preface this by saying we were not robbed. I let's look. Okay, we were not robbed. So, this is the big moment a lot of people were talking about towards the end of the game, and I was confused why our team was livid about this. So, Kimmich makes this pass, probably his only good action in the game. And the flag is raised almost immediately. And the referee looks at the linesman and blows his whistle. And then from that, we score. Now, when the referee blows his whistle, that's when play stops. So, Madrid players, you know, this couldn't have been considered a goal. VAR couldn't look at it because the referee blew his whistle. So the Madrid players stopped. Now, of course, Mazraoui, I think, headed this in, and then Muller gave it to De Ligt, and De Ligt scored. Very last minute of the game, right? And then it was a big moment, and the referee fumbled. But I will say, we were not robbed. Nope. That's not how it works. We don't get to do what we just did and blame one whistle because the referee also has nerves. I don't think he was bought off. I mean, there was one other moment where the ball never went out of play, and then they acted like it went out of play for a throw-in. Madrid took the throw-in, and Vinny almost scored, and Neuer had to make a save. So that was bad. Two big moments that could have cost us. Today, I don't think we were robbed. I think we robbed ourselves. And, I told myself we were going to get cooked today. And I said the worst thing that could happen was if we scored first and then lost, because that would feel really bad. And the worst thing happened. The worst thing that could have happened to us happened. We did it to ourselves. It's 1-0, 68th minute. And Alphonso Davies, what a goal. Now we have to keep him because he cares about the club, I think. I don't know. Maybe he was playing for that Madrid move. But we get a goal against the momentum of the game. If you look at the overall game, who created more chances? Madrid. Who hit the post? Madrid. Who looked more dangerous? Madrid. So when we get that goal, the only thing we can't do is just allow Madrid to take over the initiative. In life, there's something called momentum. A lot of people fail not because they don't have the ability to succeed, but because they stop or they slow down. Momentum is the most important thing in big games like this, where the margins of quality between the different teams are very tight, very minuscule. So the most important thing you have to do is make sure if you are winning, you don't remove the momentum from yourself completely, especially if you score the kind of goal Davies did, a really beautiful goal. But it still came from some level of good play. We cannot allow Madrid to just start taking 90% of possession. We can't just take off our best attackers. You can't dare take off your best striker. Because in the worst case scenario is they score, it's 1-1, and you have to go to extra time, and you still need a goal. The worst thing that could happen is that. And so you at least still have some players to do it. But the most immature decision you as a manager can make is take off players that can give you something if you do end up, conceding again and need a goal. But that's exactly what we did. And that small little decision in Tuchel's mind is not what lost us the game, because if you look at it, technically speaking, Neuer spilled the ball, the momentum ruined us, and then they scored again. We thought it was offside. It wasn't. It was a goal. But the small decision takes the team into a completely different frame of mind. When you take off Sané, a winger, for Kim and Jae, I thought he was taking off Sané to bring on Matisse Tell or Zaragoza, another winger. But he brought on Kim Min-jae, the guy that cost us last week. It's so funny because that's the guy that ends up missing a corner and hitting the post, and then we go concede a few minutes later. You change the structure of what's been working. We had Madrid locked down. Vinicius was locked down in the first half, and in the second half he came alive. And then you change Mazraoui from left back, who was doing well there, and move him to right back to switch the team around and do craziness. And you move. This is what football is about. Minuscule decisions, tiny choices you make that will cost you. What did Carlo Ancelotti not do? He didn't freak out after his team went down. He said, guys, I'm going to strengthen you. Give me a little bit more. And if you lose, it's okay. He wasn't sitting there angry. He wasn't anxious. Madrid were not anxious. Even in the 85th minute, they did not look anxious. Why? They believed in themselves. By changing our entire team and making us super negative, our manager did not believe our team was supposed to be here. He didn't believe we had the quality to hold on and even score another one. He believed in Madrid too much. And he took an inferior position, and we were dominated thereafter. So I'm not blaming Tuchel, but I'm saying there's a reason he's not going to be at this club next year, because he's incapable of leading a team like this and believing in this team and setting us up for success. That's the sad reality. It's sad. And now let's talk about individual mistakes, which did not exist in this game. The only mistake we had was Neuer. Neuer made a mistake. Look at Madrid's goal. Do you remember any mistakes? No. I think Kimmich today had a stinker. But any goal-leading stinkers? No. I mean, there were moments where Vinicius created, but Neuer was spectacular. So it kind of canceled out those individual moments. The point is, Madrid scored 2 goals in a matter of 4 minutes. And it was down to Neuer spilling the ball for the first time in his career. You guys remember the last time Neuer spilled the ball? Even his own nerves, our captain's nerves were high because our team was so negative. We switched up and we bended over and thought Madrid wouldn't get it in time. That's what we did. We were like, all right, we can soak up pressure. Why didn't we just at least try and control the game through what Madrid did? See, this is a masterclass, and it explains why Real Madrid are about to win their 15th Champions League. I respect it so much because when they went 2-1 up, they started bringing in their dark arts to control that game. It wasn't like aimless fouls. They actually pressed us. They realized one of our weaknesses is we can't play out of the back fluidly. So they pressed us. And that led to possession turnovers. And they believed in themselves to stop any counters. And at that time, they could do that. We didn't create a big chance until, of course, people might say Mazraoui was onside, and that was a robbery. If Madrid score, or if we score there and it's 3-3 and it's counted, do you believe in this team to go keep that momentum in extra time? I don't. I think Madrid would have scored 4 more. Madrid looked like they were going to score a second, or actually a third technically. They were going to score a third over us scoring to get back into the game. So I told myself I wouldn't be disappointed if we got cooked today, but we didn't get cooked. We had it in our hands, and our own immaturity, our own lack of belief. Tuchel has to go, not just because he has talent as a coach, clearly. He's been at PSG, Dortmund. He has done good things in the game. But he lacks the thing that takes him to the next level. He lacks the X factor. He lacks an understanding of football, of philosophy. When I look at Carlo Ancelotti, his philosophy is my players are human. I'm going to treat them like humans. And then I'm going to give them systems and solutions to problems and allow them to do what they need to do. And if they don't do it, I'm going to comfort them. I'm not going to come for them. Kim Min-jae could have well been thinking about what Tuchel said last week and missed a very simplistic header. And that would have been 2-0. He would have been thinking about what Tuchel said last week. It's the little things you do as a coach that make or break you. When you go out on a press conference and say what the fans are saying instead of what you as a manager should say. Like I I don't blame you guys for being pissed at Kim last week, because I was too, and we all were. But as a manager, you tell your player, keep your head high. I'm not going to play you because this is a big mistake, but I don't want you to be destroyed. It's just a game and you're a human. Tuchel did not manage Kim Min-jae. Imagine if that's what Kim had in his head, to miss a header. So I don't want to make this centered around Tuchel, because I want to congratulate players too for fighting. I think they did their best. Now I hope this board understands why you need a DM. I have to say, Konrad Laimer, a player I've never rated, has proven me wrong in a different way. Not that, he suddenly has the ability to be an elite level midfielder like Luka Modric or Toni Kroos, but that he used his skill set to the best of his ability, which is pressing. And he was there for the team. He fought. I have to congratulate Pavlovic, a young man, Serbian, who is going to be one of Germany's superstars. He reminds me of Toni Kroos in a few ways. He had a 100% pass accuracy in the first half. Now, I read on Twitter, someone was like, but those passes were going nowhere. Right, let's blame the 20-year-old kid who came in last minute, his first start in the Champions League, in an away game in the Champions League at the Santiago Bernabeu, the White House. Let's blame him for keeping his pass accuracy at 100%. And by the way, he did make progressive passes. The problem is with Bayern, if you watch the game, we don't have a system. We rely on combination play between players randomly. We don't have a system. If you watch Leverkusen, it's funny because if you replaced what we played today and replaced our system with Leverkusen's system, I think we win this game. Because one of the things Madrid allowed us to do is have the ball in deeper areas. But as soon as we got into the midfield, they pounced. But Leverkusen are so good at playing right into the pressure and then switching the ball to the other side of the field. It's magnificent. I think the next manager to take us to the next level is Xabi Alonso, but we can't just buy him. We need a midfielder too. We need a defensive midfielder. We need someone who is calm in all moments defensively. And I think that's how we take ourselves to the next level. But from now on, Pavlovic is our main midfielder with Laimer. I want to see that every week. I don't want to see Goretzka. I mean, Pavlovic played through an injury, man. What a guy. Sané, I'm disappointed. We have to sell you. I'm sorry. These are the moments we buy you for. And today, first half, you decided to be a sissy. I thought it was a pride festival. Leroy Sané would not do anything against Ferland Mendy. Whether it was nerves, fear, whatever, Ferland Mendy had his number. I mean, the first pass in the game, 20 seconds in, Sané's already passing the ball to the other team with laziness. In games like this, sharpness is everything. Look at Vinicius. Do you think Sané's on Vinicius' level? No. Musiala, thank you so much for another really well-rounded performance. But I hope our next manager can take him to the next level, because Musiala is so good that he needs to be on top of these games. Yet all I see him do is great moments, and then the team lets him down. I would really love to see Musiala coached by a real coach, someone who is interested in his humanity and in his ability. I want that very much for him. Kane, I thought taking off Kane was the dumbest decision in world history. If there's a guy out there to make things complicated, it's your striker. And Joselu came on, a loaned player they paid $1.5 million for, and that's the guy that made the difference. You know what? Ancelotti understood that Tuchel just didn't understand. It's that when things fail, you don't need your wingers. You need your striker, your big man. You need the guy on the bench. We brought on Choupo-Moting for Kane, basically. What has Choupo done? If anything, you should have. If he brought on Matisse Tell, we would have won this game. And not because Matisse Tell would have scored, but because the other players would have been like, Tuchel wants this. But he believes in Tell. He believes in us. He thinks we can do it with Tell. So we're gonna prove him right. But when you go negative, the team goes negative. Their mind is off. Matisse De Ligt today is our future club captain. He led that back line. I don't even know how people doubt De Ligt, man. People were saying Upamecano was better at some point when it was Upa and Kim. And one thing I always said was, when it matters, De Ligt is there. Today he was there. He scored a goal in the last minute. He is that guy. Anyone at this club that even thought of selling Matthijs de Ligt when Tuchel wouldn't play him needs to have their contract terminated. They need to go with Tuchel. So I'm disappointed in what we did to manage the game. We did everything wrong when it comes to game management. I'm not a manager, but I have coaching classes later today. And I already know, as a matter of fact, that momentum is the most important thing in management. You don't want to change what's working, and you don't want to upset the structure of the team because you're fearful. If we survived 68 minutes with what we were doing, why would you go to a back 10 and try to defend? It made no sense. I'm livid. It's funny because for 24 hours, I was a Tuchel sexual. I literally made Tuchel propaganda on Twitter. But now it's over. I'm glad he's gone, because what do you think Hansi Flick would have done? 1-0 up against Real Madrid. First of all, with Hansi Flick in charge, it would have been 4-3. We would have still been 1-0 up, but we would have conceded 3 and scored 4. But what do you think he would have done? He would have kept the system. What do you think Pep would have done? Pep would have told his players, you guys need more of the ball. The best form of defense is attack. I don't know how people don't get this. Not like attack as in, oh, you start trying to do dribbles. No, it's just taking the ball to their half. Because naturally speaking, if you have the ball in your own half, they're closer to scoring than if you have it in their half, because they still have to run back and score and create chances. So I think what we could have done was just so simple. We could have told the team to calm the game down, commit some fouls, get some yellow cards. I don't even think a single player got booked today from us. That shows there was no, I don't know. It's like we lost. We thought the game was over like 80 minutes in. Even after 90 minutes, you shouldn't think the game's over. You should look at what Dortmund did against PSG. Now, PSG missed a lot of chances, but I credit Dortmund because they didn't let, PSG had a big chance to destroy them. And I'm crediting Dortmund's mentality over ours. Honestly, we didn't deserve to be in the Champions League final. No, not from the season we have had, not from the way we've been playing. And Madrid deserved it. Objectively speaking, they created more chances than we did. They wanted the game, and they didn't let themselves fall apart. Ancelotti managed this like the elite, world-class manager he is. That's why he's my favorite coach of all time. You read his book, and you'll understand what I'm talking about. He is brilliant. I don't think a single manager in world football comes close to him in terms of player management. He knows it better than anyone. He understands psychology to a T. Let's read some comments. I want to see what you guys are saying, because my mind's, dude. Bro, I almost cried, but I'm not gonna let. Look, I think we didn't bottle this, and I don't want anyone saying we got robbed. We are not victims, okay? I mean, Arsenal can be victims because they're victims. We're not victims. We're not females, all right? We take accountability and we understand the picture. That's what I try to do on this channel. I could come here and say, Vardrid, but VAR didn't kill us in this game. Taking Kane off and taking Sané off for 2 defenders did. Chupo too. We went negative. We changed everything that was working. We ruined the momentum. So no, don't cry about referees, please. Because one team decided to go for it and the other team decided to bend over. He failed at Bayern. Don't forget that many Bayern players went into this game with muscle problems. That's not really the players that you're talking about are De Ligt. So yeah, De Ligt had a muscle problem and he was one of our best players tonight. Man, De Ligt was amazing. I mean, him and Dyer were amazing. Bayern have gone trophyless for the first time since 2011, 2012 after tonight's defeat. But I look, my heart is broken and I feel really sad, but I think these players tried and we let ourselves down. And I'm glad the problem will be gone in a few weeks. Tuchel will no longer coach Bayern after May. So June comes, he's no longer our coach. And we can bring in Hansi Flick if that's the guy, and he can come implement a philosophy. And I think Neuer, I'm not going to blame him. He's the best goalkeeper of all time. He actually made a few really good saves in this game. And Neuer was just a symptom of a bigger problem. That's all. You guys get it? Neuer was a symptom of a bigger problem. Now, if Neuer conceded and it was 4-3, then I would have been like, man, you'd conceded like that. But it was 3-3. But we couldn't do anything else because we had gone so negative. So, geez, what a disappointment. Neuer, man. I've never seen him spill the ball, but he's the greatest goalkeeper of all time. He did what he had to do today. And his team, his manager let him down and put pressure on him. The Lit says, I don't want to say that Real Madrid has the referees with them, but that made the difference. No, it didn't. Quit trying to protect. Look. Yeah, look. I think I wish Tuchel the best. I don't want anyone to hate him forever, but he is to blame at least. He takes 50% of the blame. The other 50, I guess, the players, but no, he takes 70%. Because what? We're going to make this about an offside decision? We're going to make this about referees? No, it's not. This is about momentum. This is about balls. This is about belief. This is about philosophy. This is much more than a referee decision. How did we get to a point where we relied on a referee? How did we concede 2 goals? What happened between the time we scored and the time we were managing the game to the time we can? What do we do? And why did the momentum shift? Because, by the way, after we scored, we were still looking okay. And then something happened. Some changes. I don't know. What do you call those? Substitutions? And then somehow we just went completely negative. Because I guess when you bring on a defender for, I don't know, a winger, you just play a little bit different. I don't even care if Sané had a great game today. You just keep him on because it's Sané. And he's the guy that could cut inside and shoot top bins and you're back into the game if you're losing. But when you switch it, the whole team's mentality is destroyed. Man, I thought Davies did really well. I mean, he won. He should have won. This could have been a great moment. But now if I'm Alphonso Davies, I'll understand that there's unfinished business here. Now, the board. I've been talking about Tuchel and errors and things like that. The board at FC Bayern. If you guys don't spend money on 2 midfielders, and by the way, you got to sell a lot of players. Okay? We have a lot of selling to do. We need to sell Upamecano. It's time. I'm sorry. We are not a friend zone club. Okay? If you're not going to be my boyfriend, you're not going to be in I don't know why I'm saying it like that. Upamecano has to go. Kim, I would sell him too. I actually no. I don't even know. Do you keep these center backs? If you get a DM, I'd probably be happy with all of them staying. Goretzka has to go. Gnabry, I thought today would have been a good game if you could pull in and have big game performance. Maybe he could pretend Real Madrid was actually Spurs because of the same white color. But he has to go. Gnabry has to go. Go. Kingsley Coman, as soon as you're fit, we got to sell you. It's time to go. We need new blood. This generation, this 1995-96 generation, Sané, you got to go too. We got to sell you. I think Leroy Sané today had an opportunity to cement his name in world football conversations, and he didn't do that. He has to go. He makes a lot of money. We need that next level. We need players with consistency, players with cojones. We need the next Vinicius. We need the next Rodrigo. Players that don't give up. players that try, even if they're failing, players that take risk and don't let the big stage get to them. Vinicius today, I thought in the first half was frozen. But second half, he took himself to a new level. Benzema, what did you put in that man's... Because Benzema gave him one speech, and Vinicius has never been the same. Benzema said, don't pass him the ball. And Vinicius was like, all right, I'll make him always pass me the ball because he's the danger man. Every time he went against Kimmich lost every duel against Vinny. I don't remember a single... The one time where I was like, great tackle, Kimmich actually won the ball with his hand. Vinny actually cooked him, and then Kimmich used his slid with his hand and then won the ball. So today was just... It's depressing, and this isn't going to go off our minds for a few days, few weeks, few months. We're going to think about this for years probably, but hopefully this is a turning point. The last time we went trophyless in a season, we won the treble the next year. So, you know what I'll say? I feel like we haven't won the Champions League since 2013. I still feel like that because 2020 was such an odd year with COVID, no fans in the stadium. Look at the difference with having fans. I think it changes everything. Honestly, Thomas Muller, please retire. I mean, remember that moment where he had a pass? He was going to pass it to Sané, and the pass was behind Sané. We had a counterattack. I think it was 3v2. It's like, it's that little... If Sané got the ball to his feet, he's running forward, but he's getting the ball behind him. He has to stop and get the ball and then move forward. But by that time, Madrid players have filled the defense. So I'd sell Muller or tell him to retire and become a player coach or something. Coman, yeah, sell him too. I don't know. Chupo, I mean, he's already... We know he's leaving. We need a big overhaul in the summer, and then we need to get back to the drawing board. If you told me before this game we would have been on the verge of getting out and going into the Champions League final, I would not have believed you. But here we are. And it's our own fault. It's our own manager's fault. It's decisions, management, all of the above. Super sad. Someone said 15 UCL about to come. I mean, that's Madrid for you. As a City fan, know how you feel. 1 minute you're thinking about UCL, next minute Madrid have scored twice. Yo, Man City has gone through that like twice now, right? And then you lose on penalty. I said I didn't want a penalty shootout, but I wouldn't have minded one because at least you're like, all right, we have a chance. But yeah. Yeah. It's an absolute disaster. This scene must be played out to the end. That's the rule. The linesman made the mistake. That's what Tuchel says. Bro, that's what a beta manager says. You never gave your team everything they needed to succeed, and then you're complaining about one referee decision. When in reality, I don't even trust that this team would have converted a 3-3 draw. So, I'm sad. I like the fact that you were not emotional. Bro, I was almost going to drop a tear. Bro, I had to stop that tear from coming in at full time, man. It's the emotional roller coaster. But I think, I told myself before this reaction that I need to look at this objectively. Because before this game, I told myself, there's no way we win. We're at the Santiago Bernabeu. We're basically 1-0 down already. Even if we go 1-0 up, we're still technically drawing. Because by the fact that you're in their stadium with their fans and the demands they have of their players, you're basically down in the game. We're not going to have the ball, but when we do, we got to do something. So, I had to take myself out of the frame because I was having delusions of grandeur. I don't know. Delusions of winning, of going into the Champions League final, and you can never do that against Madrid. Even as a coach, you got to believe they can come back at any moment. So it doesn't matter what minute it is. If there's 2 minutes of added time, you have to believe that this team knows how to come back in games, and that's what they do best. So, am I going to comment the final? I ain't watching that final, bro. I'm gonna Google the result after the game. I'm not. I might watch it. Depends. But I think I want to just skip the final, man. You know what I want to start doing? I want to start doing videos on players we need to sign. That's what I want to start doing. Top 10 players Bayern Munich must sign, because we need a lot of top 10. Like, that's what I'm talking about. We need top 10. We don't need 2 players. And by the way, Herbal, if you don't perfect in this window, we get rid of you. Because this is what could happen. We think it's okay and not really, and not care that much, and try to change the team and bring some bowlers in. Next thing you know, next season we just lose the league to Leverkusen again, or Leipzig just really get competitive. We lose a few games. We think it's okay, right? Maybe we go and sign Ten Hag. If you think Eric Ten Hag is the manager we need after this game, you're stupid. Ten Hag is the worst manager in football history. He'll look at a player, I don't like you, and so he could come here and just piss off Musiala. No, we need someone like Flick who will hug his players after losses and slap them after winning because he wanted more goals. That's what we need. We need someone with demand, someone with emotionality. If Carlo Ancelotti was available, he'd be perfect for us. The young players we have, to integrate them into the team and in a low-pressure environment. I want Pavlovic to become the next Schweinsteiger. And the only way for that to happen is for him to get the environment and the platform and the manager to make it happen. But thank you, everyone, so much for watching. Don't cry over this too much, man. Don't cry over this. Someone said cry harder. Okay. Yeah, we got kids watching. Eric Ten Hag is all right. Bro, don't make me slap you, man. Muller was on the bench, as he should have been. Someone said, don't disrespect Muller. Muller's finished. Are you stupid? Like, he's one of the greatest Bayern players of all time. That doesn't mean he's always going to be on top forever. If anything, you're the weird one for thinking a 35-year-old is going to be good forever. He's finished, and he needs to become a coach because that's his natural career path. I wonder if he has his coaching license or something. I hear he's taking coaching classes. So I have a coaching class today. I'm going to be so pissed because I have to hear about this sport. I want to, I don't know. Maybe I just imagine I could coach a team. I feel like I could implement a philosophy or something. I would just, it would be terrorism ball, man. Full on Hansi Flick blitzkrieg attacking football, man. We just go to your opponent. We just go to your stadium, park at the halfway line, and just never let you leave. Oh, man. I don't understand the rules concerning review of Bayern Triangle. Okay. So I'll address this one more time. A lot of people think we got robbed. I don't believe we lost because of a robbery, because I don't even think if we made the game 3-3, we would have won. I believe the reason they said this wasn't a goal, so the linesman had his flag up, but as players, you're supposed to play on unless the referee blows his whistle. So this referee blew his whistle at some point, but it was too early. He should have allowed play to go on. And if play goes on, we score, and that's going to be onside. I thought it was because they said De Ligt was offside. I don't know. But then I looked, it was Mazraoui who was clearly onside. Look at Rudiger's foot and where Mazraoui is. Mazraoui's onside. And when Mazraoui heads it in, Muller takes it, and then De Ligt shoots and he scores. So I thought that's what but look, that's not why we lost. We lost because Tuchel decided to make the team negative. That's it. I mean, according to beIN Sports, Mazraoui was onside. And what do we do? What are we going to do with that? How is that information going to change the fact that you should not completely take off your entire offense when you're winning? I mean, was Kane injured? No, I mean, Tuchel's going to come out and say everyone was injured. I don't believe that nonsense. Kane looked fine to me. The linesman told De Ligt, sorry, I made a mistake. I mean, I think the linesman raised his flag too early. But you got to think about it, guys. It's not always like, oh, Madrid paid off the ref. As a linesman, it's the last minute of a Champions League. You don't want to get it wrong. And your nerves hit in. You're the referee. Your nerves hit too. Referees have nerves because if they make one bad decision, both fans are angry. But it cost us later. But really, our decisions and the momentum shift that we caused is what ruined us. Let's end it at that. Thank you all very much for watching. Mia San Mia and peace. It's okay, man. We didn't expect to be in the Champions League semifinal. Most people thought we would have lost to Arsenal. Yet we're here, okay? At least one German team is in the final. Dortmund, I would hate, oh my gosh, if Dortmund won the Champions League and we won nothing and Leverkusen won oh my gosh, that would feel like pain. But in the final, who am I rooting for? I mean, obviously, I don't want the team that just beat us to win. And I think German football has been disrespected. So I'm going to have to say Dortmund. I'm going to, I'm rooting for Dortmund to win a trophy. I mean, usually I root for Bundesliga teams in Europe. But for them to be in the Champions, like I'll root for them if they're playing Barcelona. And, oh, yeah, it's like, oh, we beat La Liga. That's how I feel. But now I'm literally hoping Dortmund beats Madrid because Madrid just did this to us. So, hey, Madrid fans, we respect your club and you have an institution that is, I mean, Florentino Perez was with his players hanging out, probably threatening their families. If you don't win the Champions League, I will kill you. I will bring your family. Yeah, he said it. And then you had Uli Hoeneß before the game, our de facto club president. He was literally saying, oh, I don't know who's going to win. It's 50-50. Like, bro, you're Uli Hoeneß. You should believe in this team. You should be saying, Bayern will win. For Marco Reus, nah, I cannot see Reus's final game be a Champions League win. Nah. Hey, yo, Madrid, do what you got to do, bro. Nah, Marco Reus. Nah. After all them digs at Bayern, we were just, bro. Ugh. Imagine United fans would probably feel worse. Sancho left you to win a Champions League. Oh, that would be bad. He's also insulting Tuchel. Yeah, I mean, Uli Hoeneß was right about Tuchel. I just don't think it was appropriate for our de facto club president to be saying that about our manager before a big game like Madrid. I don't think he should have said that. Yeah, I'm glad that we gave a great challenge to Madrid at their home, even at our lowest. True. I am happy about that too. All right. I already said goodbye, but I keep going. That's just because I like hanging out with you freaking geeks. Because as soon as I end this live stream, I'm not going to sleep tonight as well. Dude, I went to bed expecting to sleep for 8 hours and 30 minutes. And I was like waking up like every 3 hours because I was thinking, is it game day? Like, and now I feel like I didn't sleep for 8 hours. Even though I went back to sleep, I don't remember like feeling, I don't feel like I slept the whole way because I was just thinking about the game. All right. See you guys on the next stream.